You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Hello and welcome back to the channel, it's JPA here. In today's video I'm going to be discussing Rangers versus Ross County, which is tomorrow. Just before we get into this video, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button, if you're new to the channel, hit the like button as well, always helps the channel out. And we'll just get straight into this video, guys. So, Rangers versus Ross County tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock kick-off. Unfortunately, because it's at Ibrox and it's a 3 o'clock kick-off, it's not on TV. You can get on Rangers TV though, which I think I'm going to have to try and do that while I'm actually at work tomorrow. Really gutted about that, but hopefully I see most of the game. It's going to be a really interesting one. This one is obviously a really important game. If you look at the fact that Celtic are playing at 12 o'clock, they're playing St Johnstone. I genuinely believe that Celtic have just run over the top of them, to be honest. So I think Celtic are going to get 3 points there, and unfortunately they'll leapfrog us in the table until we play. So it's very, very important that we get this win. We want to be going into the international break on top of the league, albeit obviously Celtic will have games in hand, but we want to go into this international break on top, so that we go into the Old Firm game on top as well. Give that a little bit of confidence. I think we'd maybe lose a little bit of an edge going into the Old Firm game if we were behind, so we really need to take maximum points from this game. If you look at Ross County, their last result was 3-0 loss to Aberdeen. That was at home. They were down to 10 men fairly early on in that match. Ian Vigurs got sent off for being the last man, gave away a penalty. I think they actually gave away 2 penalties in that game for Ross County as a team. One thing I did notice about that game is the space that was down their right hand side, which is what Aberdeen's left hand side, if you will. McGinn and Johnny Hayes had an absolute field day down there. They just kept bombing down, and they pretty much ripped them apart, particularly in the first half. Slowed down kind of in the second half. I think they maybe tactically switched it a little bit up to try and stop that, but it's very interesting to know that we've got the likes of Barisic and Ryan Kent, who are amazing down the left hand side. I know Ryan Kent likes to come inside and, oh, pardon the pun there, but you know what I mean, he likes to cut inside and create problems wherever he goes, Ryan Kent. But particularly for Barisic, if they've got a weakness down the right hand side, Barisic can really exploit that, I think. Their other game was a 1-0 win away to St Johnstone. They got their goal from a free kick, so I think that's pretty much a tactic that they might employ in the game against us. It was a pretty much a boring game. I watched the highlights to that game. There wasn't really a lot going on. And their other result was a 5-0 loss to Celtic at home. Some of the defending in that was really, really poor. I know they gave away a penalty and got off to a pretty bad start. But they did create a couple of opportunities against Celtic. They had a wee shot just outside the area. They did have a chance in the counter-attack where they actually hit the post, and later on in the match, where they were about 3 or 4-0 down at that point, they actually hit the post from a free kick. So they can be dangerous for a number of angles, let's just say. The interesting thing for me is, although they're going to be in a similar style to the rest of the SPFL teams in terms of just sitting in deep and being very organised, they didn't tend to try and just lump the ball forward when they get it. They do try and break on the attack very quickly and use the ball that way, rather than just booting it up and looking for a free kick outside the area and just trying to work it that way. They do actually try and play when they get the ball, so that's quite an interesting tactic that hopefully we'll be able to snuff out. In terms of Rangers injury news, we had a couple of bumps and bruises in that game against Galatasaray, but nothing major. No fresh injuries, which is obviously a good thing for us. Ryan Jack obviously got some game time, and got some game time as well. Brandon Barker is obviously back in full training as well. So the real only injuries we've got are Katic, which is obviously a longer term one. I think that's maybe January by the time he'll be back. Kemar Roofe and Joe Aribo, they're the only injuries that we've got at the moment. Balogun wasn't mentioned, but he got obviously game time last week. So pretty pleasing to see that we've not got any fresh injuries for this game. In the press conference, Gerrard did hint towards signing at least one more player. In fact, he did say one more player. He's looking to obviously fill that engine room, get a midfielder in there before Monday. Monday's the cut-off point for the transfer window closing. Don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of days. It will be interesting. We obviously do have this money from the Europa League now, so it strengthens our ability to go and get someone, and hopefully we can get somebody in before that window slams shut on Monday night. So on to prediction time now. Obviously this is the reason you watch these videos, to kind of see what I'm predicting, see if I get it right, or see if I make an arse of myself really. I'm going to go very positive for this one. We have to go out and get 3 points. I think we will be positive. Going to go Rangers 3, Ross County 0. Goal scorers of Ryan Kent, James Tavernier, obviously he's in the form of his life right now. Can't see him no scoring at any point. And Cedric Itten, I think, will come off the bench and score later on. I think for me it's going to be another one of these games where Alfredo has 1 or 2 chances, doesn't quite take them, and he goes off at 65-70 minutes in a wee bit of huff, and Itten will come on, I think, and score. So we're just going to wrap this video up quickly, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As I say, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Remember to put your predictions down in the comments below, and we'll have a wee chat about it and see who gets them right and whatnot. Quick thing before I go, obviously my Scottish football channel is up and running now. I made predictions last night, didn't get any of them right unfortunately, but it's a learning curve, and hopefully if you like this channel, then you might switch over that channel like that as well. That's the plan, obviously, and it'll be no as Rangers focused as these videos, obviously. So if you're not too keen on Rangers and you're just having to watch this video but you do like Scottish football, then go over to Scottish football, obviously. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.